What's up, everybody? This is Peter again for Sports Hot Rumors and Debates. Let's walk and talk. So, it's a great day for us Diamondback fans. Guy like me who's a diehard Diamondback fan since 1988 to start. I'm so happy, right? If you guys follow my videos, a couple weeks ago I made a video saying my Christmas wish list and then saying that I think if we can get Yamamoto, and then I was realistic. I knew we're not going to get him, but it was hopeful. But my second guy was Eduardo Rodriguez. And if you watch to the end of that video, the very end, that was the guy I was looking for, right? So let me explain why. Not only did we get Eduardo Rodriguez, but we paid a good amount for him, but it's not breaking the bank, okay? Why is this a great move? I'm going to go through a bunch of pros and a few cons. One, we don't have a good lefty. We had Tommy Henry, who did all right, and we have Blake Walston coming up, who I like him, but we don't know how his velocity is going to do, in the MLB. So we're really in no luxury to take a chance, right? Is Gallen going to bounce back? Not bounce back, but have the same year, right? And then is Kelly going to have the same year? Because he had leg problems and blood clots, and so we're not sure if that's going to happen, right? You got to remember, we didn't have a good year, the Diamondbacks. It was okay, right? There was a lot of iffy stuff in there. So the fact that we had an amazing run at the end, confidence runs the world, right? That gives the confidence to the Diamondbacks. But let's be realistic. We needed more talent. So getting a lefty who you're going to throw as the number 3, that is the key here. Listen, the number 3. You're getting a guy who he could be a number 1, right? As an okay number 1, a really good number 2, and a fantastic number 3. And he's going to be a number 3 in our thing. You're not going to bump Kelly, which I think would be horrible. I think you put him as a number 3, right? So people, I read somebody say this is Bumgarner 2.0. That's ridiculous. But I do understand why somebody would think that way. Let me explain why this is not. One, Bumgarner has way more miles with all the playoffs than Erod did, right? That's totally different. Two, Erod's not coming in here trying to be the ace, what Bumgarner was supposed to be. So there's no pressure like that. 3, we have Brett Strum, the best pitching coach to me, and there's no way that's going to happen, okay? And 4, you see last year how Erod was pitching before he got hurt. He was having a Cy Young type year. Now, he does have some injury things, but what are we expecting from him, okay? We did pay a good price for him, right? I thought we were going to go around 16 mil, but I don't think that would have got it cut. So we had to get a little bit more. So you're talking $20 million a year, which is still okay. Okay, the Diamondbacks have the money now because we did the run. And then what I would say is, maybe a 15-win season we're looking for, 6 to 7 innings, right, all the time. You have to remember, we didn't have anybody eating innings. The bullpen was killed in the beginning. Remember Chafin? This feels like years ago when Chafin was, and it was only last year, was getting saves at the end, and we were overworking him, and he just came in, which is probably why he died out so quickly. So Gallen and Kelly were going long innings, but who else was going long after that? Remember, Fott didn't come to after, right? And he didn't even do well in the season. So who was eating innings? We were getting into our pen so quickly. Now you have 3 guys who can go minimum 7 innings, right? That's amazing. So that is going to take the pressure off. Then when we get into, even Fott's going to pitch well, but even if Fott and them needed a little bit of a break, or Gallen, we have a great pen. So this is why this is so important. So don't put the pressure on Erod. The Diamondbacks, he's going to be matching up, instead of him matching up with aces like he did in Detroit, and so many times, because I play fantasy. If you look at so many of Erod's matchups, he went 7 in. He didn't get some wins on some of the games. He was pitching a gem. The dude was throwing a no-hitter against Baltimore at one point, and I don't even know if he won that game, but he was pitching fantastic. So these are the games. These are the important things to think about. So now if we all stay healthy, you're going to probably get a 3 ERA from Gallen. Maybe he's going to have a little bit less of a year than he had this year, but I still expect a 3 ERA from Gallen. I expect the same year from Kelly if he stays healthy, because I love Merrill Kelly. And then some people would say, who's the ace of the team? I know Zach is, but Kelly's right there. And then you're talking about Erod coming in with 14, 15 wins, possibly more if, we have good matchups. And then you got Fott as the number 4. If he pitches the way that we can remember, that we think, and that stuff. Imagine him as a number 4 with ace caliber stuff, okay? And then number 5, you don't need another veteran, okay? I don't want, last year we went to get Zach Davies and everything. I don't want to see another veteran because I think the 5 we need to see if it's going to be Henry, which I think Walston is going to be the guy eventually, but Henry was coming into his own, right? He reminded me a little of Patrick Corbin at one point. So I would love to see Henry come in and be the number 5, so then you get 3 righties, 2 lefties. That would be beautiful. If not Henry, Walston, and then if not, you don't know who's going to be the next guy to come up, right? You don't know if it's going to be Slates or Sonny, who was pretty well on some points. You don't know who it's going to be. Jarvis. There's so many guys that could be, but there's no pressure because they're the number 5. But now, before when you only have 2 pitchers, so many things have to happen. So this is just a fantastic move. Now that our rotation is pretty much set, let's get to hitting, okay? We got, Eugenio Suarez, which, Hazen was right. Because that move was done before the, winter meetings, people forget about it. But that was a huge move. You're talking about you're adding a 35 to 40 home run guy. He's going to bat better in Arizona. He's not going to sit there batting with his average that he did in Seattle because we all struggled. So now you go, okay, we need, in my opinion, we need 2 more hitters, not 1. And I'm going to explain to you why. We know we got Corbin Carroll, great. We know we have Cattell, fantastic. Moreno, my favorite player, okay? So that's 3 right there. Christian Walker, 4, great. Now, let's start getting into what goes on. We got Perdomo, who I hope he gets signed to more extension because I love that kid. He's a winner to me. I know he's not going to, but I think he's going to start every year his average is going to go up to a point to where he starts batting 300 in a few years. He's just a great plate discipline, okay? So I like Perdomo. Okay, now third base, we got Eugenio Suarez, I mentioned, right? So we have our guys there. The outfield, I mentioned Corbin Carroll. But now what? If Jake McCarthy did what he did a few years ago, oh my God, we would be set. Because I thought he was going to rake this year. It was a very disappointing year. Now, I know he was hurt in the beginning. Don't know if that had something to do. He could be a bounce back. And if he is a bounce back, the Diamondbacks are just going to kill. But assuming, let's say he's not. Let's play the game, okay? Alek Thomas is one of my favorite players to watch defensively. But we know he's not, is he going to be a better hitter? He looks like a 250 to 12 home run guy. Doesn't look much better than that, But you could stay with him because of his defense, and you could say, no, we want to keep him. So then you would only need 1 position, right? And then who would it be? Personally, I still want another lefty. I'll tell you why. We have Suarez, we have Walker, we have Moreno. Marte is a switch hitter. Perdomo is a switch hitter. So technically, we don't need another righty. Okay, so what can you do? I love this New York City snow weather. So what can you do? Do you have to go get? If you get JD, anybody watches my videos, I've been begging for JD Martinez ever since he left. We've never been the same since that guy left. He was unbelievable. He was on pace for like a 60 home run year if he was to be there the full year with Arizona. He loved it there. That's why he was trying to give them a discount when he left. He wanted to be there, and he didn't like how he left it. So we can get him. I will be fine. Then I don't need the lefty because JD in Arizona is going to rake again. It goes another 30-something home runs for JD. He'll love it there again. So I don't mind that. If we don't get JD, I know the other thing was saying let's get a permanent DH and get Justin Turner. I'm not opposed to that, but he's getting older. He's almost 40. I'm not thrilled with getting Justin Turner, but I'm not. If we get him, we get him. But then there's the other options. Can we get Teoscar Hernandez? Because that would be the dream. People are sleeping. That is a 40 home run man, okay, that just struggled in Seattle. He'll kill. They're not even 35 home runs. But if we don't get that type of guy, who else? Can you trade for Eloy Jimenez? It's possible, right? If Arizona doesn't want to spend a ton and they want to do, by their trades, because we have a lot of guys that we can trade. We didn't give up anybody for Suarez, so we can do that since we signed a free agent. Now we didn't have to trade as many. That's the luxury of signing a free agent, which is wonderful. So do you do that? There's so many options. There's a guy out there that I want that he's probably not going to go, but I would love him, and it's Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson in the middle of that lineup, and I want to explain to you why. If we did get like JD Martinez, which is great, but you got to think like 3 through 6 would be like Walker, Moreno, Suarez, JD. That's a lot of righties, right? That's definitely tough to have 4 righties there. Who would be in between them? What's the lefty that Alec Thomas? Who would be in between them? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm not thrilled with having that. Now, how does this sound? Walker, Jock Peterson, Suarez, then Moreno. How does that sound to you? 3 guys who can put up 30 to 35 home runs from 4, 5, 6. Moreno, who is just one of the best contact hitters, right? That sounds a lot better to me than having a bunch of rights. Now, I get it. Now, say they did sign JD, which, again, I would love. And could you, if you put JD at DH, could you still afford like a Jock? Could you do that? Right? Can you do it? Where all this would be settled is if we got JD and like McCarthy played really well. But that would be phenomenal if the Diamondbacks just went for it and said, you know what, let's get JD or make a trade for righty and Jock Peterson. Because then you can, give one of the lefties a day off, right? You can put one of them as a DH. That would be just fantastic to see that. That's what I would like. I would like a platoon of a JD, Jock, something like that. I know it's probably too much because we just threw $20 million at, Erod. But that's just my opinion. And if we don't do that, if we just get one of them, again, I'll still be happy. And then if I know Hazen, he'll still go for like a veteran off the bench, right? Look for that. Then you can maybe see like a pinch hitter guy that they'll do. Remember how we used to have Del Scalzo, who was really good. So maybe they'll do that. And then expect one more bullpen move. He always loves to fix the pen. So I expect that. So just to recap, either JD or Jock, maybe a Turner. A dream would be Teoscar. Okay, but even Hazen said, he's like me. He said exactly what I'm saying. Because we have righties, it's not the need as much as it used to be because we got Suarez and because we have switch hitters. People think we need righties. It's definitely not the case. Okay? So the Diamondbacks are going to, let's name the whole team. Okay? Catcher, Moreno. First base, Walker. Second base, Marte. Shortstop, Perdomo. Third base, Suarez. Infield is nasty. Outfield, Alec. Corbin. Right? So that's 2. Where's the other one? Okay? Let's say we sign Jock. Okay? 3. Where's the DH? Right? Are we doing JD? Can we do something like that? Let's say we switch it around. Let's say we do the outfield and we go, okay, let's get Teoscar. Okay? Could we do something like maybe just get one of our in-house guys, keep McCarthy there? Do you still roll with Pavin Smith? Right? There's a lot of options there. But for me, if I'm the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers are going to go for it like they always do. The Giants are going to be a lot better. Expect huge moves from the Giants in the next few days. So I feel like Ohtani may be there. So just don't settle is what I'm saying. Let's not settle. Let's not just go for 1. Let's go for 2. Because hitting was our problem. We figured out pitching. Hitting was rough for us. We have to do it. And there's even a thing like if Tommy Pham can't find something, does he come back to Arizona? But he's going to have to taper his expectations about, starting consistently. Because I wouldn't mind Tommy Pham coming back if we got a Jock Peterson. Because if we got Jock Peterson, then you can say, hey Tom, look, you can come, you can play a lot, but now that he's the other guy. That's just a thought. Let me know what you guys think. But Erod, baby, go D-backs.